This is for vlog week 3 on the article about the concept of disease, structure, and change by Paul Thagard. Just a brief overview of the article. It pretty much gave an overview through centuries of theories of disease, how they came to those theories, and pretty much showing like the forefront of how the history of medicine came about. The article mentions the germ theory of disease by Pasteur and Lister, as well as the humoral theory. Excuse me. Those were the two kind of main theories that seem to have been used to come to the conclusion of creating those classifications that the medical realm uses today. It also touched on kind of the conceptual change and the 9 degrees of the conceptual change and how that came about as well. Kind of speaking on Darwin and his hypotheses and theories and how he came to come to those conclusions. It also spoke about Hippocrates and, like I mentioned, the humoral theory, and how he kind of came to the conclusion of choosing the humoral theory, as well as the germ theory, like I mentioned as well, from Pasteur and Lister, which seems to be what's being used most often today to classify diseases and illnesses. The second question was, what were the cognitive mechanisms by which the concepts and hypotheses of the germ theory of disease were introduced? It seemed as though both Pasteur, Lister, and Koch, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, all three of them kind of took their own approach to kind of, like I would say, microbiology, where they're doing testing on microorganisms and bacterias and other kind of, I guess, samples I would use, for lack of a better word, to kind of come to the conclusion that diseases may not have been just created, or may not just come from just bacteria, but it also can come from microorganisms. And I think that pretty much created the basis of how we classify our diseases and illnesses today. And then question 3 was, why was the germ theory accepted as a superior to the humoral theory? I think it was chosen or accepted superior to the humoral theory, because it kept creating new concepts. They kept creating new concepts. The concepts changed. Whereas humoral kind of stayed the same. The germ theory kind of built on like each concept to bring that overarching theme of what it is today. Being able to build on that from using those three individuals' theories and their testing kind of made it to be a little bit more desired, I would say, or a little bit easier for development of using the germ theory instead of the humoral theory.